if you want to understand the universe, think of energy, frequency, and vibration. So how does that all work in the grander scheme of things? How can we become more aware of what energy is, how it works, how it affects us? How can we learn to use energy to our advantage? Are you aware of the fact that we are energy and there's many energy fields in us and around us? Our Earth is also a magnetic energy field. We're surrounded and exposed to quite a number of vibrations and frequencies. What are some of our own energy centers or fields or auras? They're known by different names, but know this, we are so much more than just flesh and blood. Some of these energy centers are called chakras. They start at the base of our spine and they move up until we reach the crown of our head. They're basically wheels of energy inside every one of us. But first I'd like to paint you a picture of just how energy can be felt, especially positive energy. Energy that, like I said, can be felt and not necessarily seen. I'm sure we all know someone that can walk into a room and bring with them their amazing energy without speaking a word. They bring with them their joy and their positivity. They light up the room with their sparkle. Can you picture it? Do you know somebody who is able to do that? That's energy. That's frequency. That's vibration. The other side of the coin are negative energies. Anger, resentment, guilt, shame, worry, hate. They contract. They linger and weigh us down. They too can not only be felt, but affect our well-being, our own well-being. So back to our energy fields and centers, chakras. In a perfect scenario, in a synchronized scenario, these centers, these wheels are opened and aligned, allowing energies to freely flow through them, allowing us to reach higher frequencies. As is everything in life, it all starts with the basics, and our first energy center is associated with survival, with basic needs, security, safety. Think food, think shelter. As we move up our energy centers, we become aware of ourselves, we become aware of others, of insight, wisdom and spirituality. That's our crown chakra, located on the top of our head. I'm aware. If everything is aligned and working in order, in synchronicity, we can move on and evolve from just our basic survival needs. We can discover our self-worth, our intuition, love. We can move on to operate from our heart space, from higher frequencies, often without even realizing. We allow chaos and frequency to affect us, to affect our perfectly synchronized order and cause mayhem and disruption. So how do we know which frequencies affect us? Some of these disruptors that we are very aware of: X-ray, radiation, microwaves, computers, phones, radio waves, Wi-Fi, wireless. It's usually ones that we are aware of. Sound and music also plays a big part in altering our own vibrations. I welcome you to have a listen to the difference between 432 hertz versus 440 hertz. One tends to be calming, while the other might not be so. We are so very different, however, and we vibe at different frequencies. What one might find calming, others might find annoying. If we're not at peace internally, it only makes sense that being surrounded by a frequency that is not aligned with our energies will cause discomfort. But did you know that our thoughts, our feelings and emotions also have a frequency? You'll find that love, joy, freedom and optimism has higher frequencies. We perform in an optimum state when we feel loved, when we feel at peace, when we're joyful, and when we have a positive outlook. On the other end of the spectrum, worry, anger, hate, guilt contracts. We go within. Frequency, vibration, and energy has a great effect on our own energies. It can block energies in our own chakra systems. They become stagnant, and so we can't move on further down the line. We stay stuck in a cycle of survival, of fear, lack of security, perhaps, not being able to truly feel our self-worth, not be able to perhaps open our hearts in order to allow love in, or in order to give love. There is a very wise saying that states that we should watch our thoughts as they become our emotions. Our emotions in turn become our actions. We create frequency and energy which can allow us to function at best, or otherwise block energy from flowing freely, and thus causing all sorts of chaos in the body and our mind and in our spirit. be mindful of your thoughts and emotions, for their effects are really far more potent than you realize. Are we aware and conscious of the frequencies that we expose ourselves to, and just how they affect us? Air, water and food do have their own energies. What choices are we making when we choose our water, our food, and the air that we breathe? Are they live? Are they fresh? Do they come with frequencies? Are we choosing things because of convenience that are perhaps not the right type of energies that nourish us and allow us to thrive? So how do we find equilibrium of frequencies? How do we find balance? How do we use energy to our advantage? Being aware of what we put out into the ether, and what we surround ourselves with, what energies we allow into our space. We have so much more power than we give ourselves credit for. Let's vibrate at higher frequencies, because after all, peace is the prize and love is the answer.